Namaste everyone. In this video, I will be sharing with you a brief information about the asana, the third limbs of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Let's start with the pronunciation. In English, in general, we always say asana, but basically it is asan. It is a Sanskrit term and pronounced as asan, commonly known as sitting position. An asana is a body posture originally and is still a general term for a sitting meditation pose, and later extended in Hatha Yoga and modern yoga as exercise to any type of pose or position, adding reclining, standing, inverted, twisting, and balancing poses. In Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Swami Swatmaram Ji said, prior to everything, asana is spoken of as the part of Hatha Yoga. Asana means a state of being in which one can remain physically and mentally steady, calm, quiet, and comfortable. The word asana is derived from the Sanskrit verb as, which means existence, and state of existence is asana or position. Here in the yoga, position of body as well as mind is expected in asana. Asana also defined traditionally as a comfortable seat. Asana is one of the most ancient yogic practices. It forms the base for almost all the other yogic practices such as physical practice, pranayama, kriyas, meditation, bandhas, and mudras. In the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, there is a concise definition of Yogasana, which is Sthiram Sukham Asanam, meaning that position which is comfortable and steady. Maharishi Patanjali defines the benefit of asana as tato dvandva abhigandatva, meaning thereby the power of the opposite ceases to have any impact. It helps to overcome the disharmonies in the body and mind. The Hatha yogis, however, found that certain specific body positions, asanas, open the energy channels and psychic centers. Yogasanas became tools to higher awareness, providing the stable foundation necessary for the exploration of the body, breath, mind, and higher states. In the yogic scriptures, it is said that there were originally 84 lakhs asanas, which represent the 84 lakhs incarnation and represented a progressive evolution from the simplest form of life to the most complex, that of a fully realized human being. Down through the ages, the great rishis and yogis modified and reduced the number of asanas to the few hundred known today. Of these few hundred, only the 84 most useful are discussed in details. An example, the Pradipika, however, describes only 15 asanas. Similarly, Rishi Vyasa names only 11 asanas in his Yoga Sutra, and there are 32 in the Ghiran Samhita. Here is the small table which will provide you brief information about estimates number of asanas from the key yogic textbook. You may have noticed that while learning the yoga, you will find different name, different style, different categories of yogic pose. The asanas sometimes given by the name of animals, sometimes given by the name of peoples. So basically, the names of asanas are most commonly from four categories: anatomy, animals, sages and deities, and objects. Additionally, names of poses are further broken down into numbers and characteristics of the poses. So in this video, here's a brief chart which will provide you information on the same, a few poses based on the different categories. So asana can be classified in three different categories. First one is relaxational asanas. So these are the asanas that are designed to give complete relaxation to the entire muscular system and the body, of course physically, mentally and emotionally, in all three ways. Meditative asanas. So basically in yoga there are four key sitting positions known as the meditative pose, which are Vajrasana, the thunderbolt pose; Sukhasana, easy pose; Padmasana, the lotus pose; and the Siddhasana. So these are the four postures which basically done in the sitting position and known to do the meditation. The third classification is cultural asanas. All the remaining postures are called cultural poses, which is basically people are doing nowadays. So these postures are meant essentially to culture our personality. Okay, if you see the Astanga yoga style, the BKS Iyengar yoga style, the physical postures, which of course gives us a physically benefit, but considered to be as in cultural asanas, a bit intense physical practice. It is important to understand the various sequencings of asanas. So generally there are four categories: standing asanas, sitting asanas, prone asanas, and the supine asanas. But they are inverted pose, twistings also comes in these categories. But in general there are four key categories: standing, sitting, prone, and supine. Asanas are not just physical exercise, they have biochemical, psychophysiological, and psycho-spiritual effects. There are many benefits one can get through the practices of asanas. In this video, I have put a few of the benefits which commonly you get from the practices of asanas, such as it helps to improve your body flexibility, it helps to build muscle strength, its alignment and give a proper shape to your body, works on the joints to open the joints, and if there's any issues helps to heal. It helps to improve the blood circulations, it's reduce the stress and anxiety. Various asanas works in different internal organs to make it healthy and strong. It's not only the good thing with asanas, the practice of yoga asanas, it's not only physical, but it also gives you the benefit in mental, spiritual, and in an emotional level. While the practice asana can be healing and beneficial for everyone, however, not every posture is. Asana can be modified based on one's health condition. So in this chart I have mentioned few very common conditions in which one should either avoid practicing or consult with your teacher or a physician before commencing. So the most common contraindications are like if someone have any injury, any fractured bones, or suffering from any chronic ailment such as ulcer, hernia, etc. If have done any recent surgery, of course during the pregnancy, like first trimester should not be doing, second or third trimester it's good to check with the teacher or the physician first. If you have any recent medical history, high or low blood pressure, there are some intense practice we should be avoiding during high or low blood pressure. Hip or knee replacement or any other joint issues. Of course, before starting the class or session, it's always good to share your health conditions, like if you are on any medications, anything. Based on this, the practice can be modified. It doesn't mean that you cannot do, but the practice, the asanas can be modified based on your health issues. So this was the short description about the asana, third limbs of Patanjali Yoga. I hope you like the video, and if you have any questions, any comments, please do let me know. Please like and subscribe the Jiten Yogshala. Thank you.